Hi and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to talk about some amazing points to treat the throat. As we're approaching fall and winter, throat issues start to be more and more prevalent in our patients. If you have a clinic and you see patients, I'm sure you see a spike in cases related to sore throats and other kinds of inflammations of the pharynx and the larynx as we approach both autumn and winter. This is very typical. We know the weather is colder, people catch colds, they catch the flu, and they start having these kinds of problems. Master Tung, fortunately, has a series of amazing points that can help us treat most problems related to the throat. But before we dive into the three groups of points that we're going to see in this video, let's start by looking at what is a sore throat. If you'd like to learn more about the techniques that I talk about in my videos, check out the courses I have available. I have courses in Portuguese and in English, so check them out in the links below. In these courses, I teach the balanced method to treat pain. This is a technique where you get instant relief in most pain cases. So if you want to learn about it, check them out. Well, if we think about it in TCM terms, well, most throat problems are related to the lungs because, as you know, the airways are controlled by the lung meridian, and we can group most of it into wind-related problems. We have dryness, so dryness-related symptoms, and finally we have heat-related symptoms. So we're mainly treating wind, dryness, and heat. And this, it can come from viral infections, it can come just from exposure to the environment with wind and cold in the season. But now let's look at some of the amazing Master Tung points that we can work with. And the first point that we're going to see is an amazing point to treat everything on the head and the throat, and it's 11.01, so points on the fingers, and it's called Jian, or the big distance. As you can see here, this point is located on the index finger and on the palmar side. This point has the shunjing of the heart, of the liver, and also of the sixth fu. You can think of this point for problems in the face. It's particularly good for trigeminal neuralgia. You can think of this point for throat problems. And if you look at the shunjing of this point, you can see that it's mainly for heat and wind because it has the shunjing of the heart, which treats heat, and it has the shunjing of the liver, which treats wind. This point is also particularly good for this area because if you think about where it is, you can think of this point as a mix of large intestine and lung if we think about the classical meridians, because we know this area of the palm is typically allocated to the lung, but the index finger is associated with the large intestine. So we're basically treating the metal using a shunjing of the heart and the shunjing of the liver. So any kind of problems related to wind or heat on the throat will have great results when we apply this point. And now we're going to look at a set of three Master Tung points that can be used as a Dalma. These points are generally known as the three metals. If you just look at most Master Tung authors, you will just see the middle point there, which is 4401 or Nei Jin. That can be translated to inner metal. But according to Doctor Who, we have in fact 3 points. We have Nei Jin in the middle, and then we have half a tsun proximal and half a tsun distal. We have 2 more points. And these points can be used together to get a Daoma effect, so to enhance the effect of Nei Jin. As you see here, we have the shunjing of the lung plus the shunjing of the heart. And they are on the lung channel. So again, we are acting on the lung to treat the airways, and they're particularly good to treat heat. These points can be used for laryngitis, pharyngitis, rhinitis, and most symptoms related to colds or flus. what the Chinese call gan mao. So if you have a patient that's suffering from sore throat, any kind of heat-related problems in the throat, you can think of these points. And to finish the Master Tung points that we'll see today, we're going to look at 77.27 or Wai San Guan, the 3 outer barriers. As you can see here, these points are located on the gallbladder meridian, zone 77, so the lower leg. They have the shunjing of the lung. Here, we're treating the lung because of the shunjing, and we're treating wind because we're over the gallbladder meridian, which is part of the wood. Also, if you think about the location of these points, you can see that they will be amazing to treat the throat. Why is that? Well, if you think about a direct image of the leg, so you can have the foot representing the head, and below the foot in this area you'd have the neck and therefore the throat. So these points are on a perfect image to treat the throat. These points are part of the 72 absolute needles and are great points for everything happening in the throat area. So pharyngitis, laryngitis, they can treat also the parotids. These are very interesting points, and I promise that I'll talk more about these points on the next 72 absolute needles video. So if you want to learn more about these points, just wait for that video, because I will keep doing my series on the 72 absolute needles, and the next video is about to come out. These are 3 amazing sets of points to treat the throat. As I always say in my videos, don't think about these points as protocols. So you see a patient with a sore throat and you just throw every point I have talked about in this video at the patient. No, you need to do a diagnosis. Is it wind? Is it heat? What's happening with this patient? And which points will fit better into his treatment? Maybe you'll use one of the points that I show and 2 or 3 other points because they fit the diagnosis you made of that patient. So don't think about these points as protocols. Think about this as important points for this situation, but that are always diagnosis dependent. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and share this video with anyone that might benefit from it. And I'll see you in the next one.